Oh boy, this is not looking good. It's gonna have to do though. What's up everyone? Welcome back to Mushroomhead TV. That's right, I woke up like this, and you know what? You're just gonna have to deal with it. Just like I'm having to deal with, and the rest of the world is having to also simultaneously deal with the fact that these bands and musicians are out here buying fake followers. Welcome everyone to the world of social media, where everyone is trying to flex on one another, even on children. It doesn't matter who we are, we're trying to look the best we can online. And to an extent, I suppose there's not really that much wrong with at least trying to present yourself in a cool way, but when I take issue with it is when you don't even earn the numbers that you're putting out there, and the ones that you will start to brag about once you've supposedly accomplished those numbers. The reason why I'm talking about this today is because it's been floating around in my head for months now that I look at these big celebrity accounts like Joel McHale, for example, or Ja Rule, or all of these other people who are supposedly huge in the music industry and the entertainment industry, and it looks like they've got 2 million followers, 3 million followers, and then you scroll down to their engagement and they might have 1 or 2 replies to the tweet or 2 comments on the Instagram post, and then if you're on Twitter it might have like 50 likes, and I'm like, really? You've got 3 million followers and you're getting 75, even 300 likes would be something that I would consider to be an underwhelming performance. That's right, they are fake. These are not real followers that they are putting out there. These are fake followers, and it hits the world of music too. You might not see this as a problem, or you might look at it as a non-issue, but I do feel like it's something that kind of violates the trust that some people have with their fans. It's like, okay, this band or this artist is saying, you know what, I'm just so happy for all 2 million of you or all 100,000 of you. It doesn't matter what the number is. If it's inflated or if it was bought and paid for, then I take issue with it, and I think you should too. The thing that got me thinking about this is unfortunately a band that I've followed, praised, and liked in the past, and it's not that I don't like them now, but they have undergone a name change. They went from being the Heirs to being Between Friends, and I've looked at their social media following, and I've been keeping up with them for a couple of years now, and overnight I saw numbers skyrocket on their Facebook page, on their Instagram, and on their Twitter. I think it's most notable on their Twitter and Facebook page, where they supposedly have about 87,000 likes on Facebook, and then you scroll on down to those engagements on the post, and it's like, oh, 10 people liked this out of 86,000. I have only 3,300 likes on my Facebook page. I barely use it or promote it at all, and I'm still at least getting 20 to 30 likes a post. Okay, we could use the excuse maybe people don't go on Facebook. Fine, that's not the best example. Let's go on over to Twitter, where they apparently have about 150K. Well, let's look at the posts, and we see as we scroll through, maybe 30 likes, maybe 20, maybe 50. If we get lucky, we top that 100 mark, but out of 150, don't you think that sounds a little bit questionable? Just judging based on my own performance and what I see from other people, I know that there's people out there that maybe get a couple hundred likes and only have 5,000 followers. I have around 12,000 followers, and I normally get 100 or 200 depending on the post, so it just seems a little bit fishy to me that 12 times about another 12, that would be about 144,000, you would think that the likes would grow incrementally by that, but they just don't, which leads me to basically say that they're fake. I obviously can't prove every single account that's following them is fake or anything like that, but I used a tool that I'm not sure about how accurate it is, so don't take this as the hand of God being passed down to you, the ultimate truth. But I went on Twitter Audit and I put in the Between Friends account on Twitter, and it showed up that about at least 50% of those followers are fake. Over 70,000 fake followers. Honestly, that seems even a little bit lower than what I would suspect based on the amount of likes that they get. I look to a smaller band like Dreamers that only have about 14,000 followers, which seems natural for where they're at in their career, and they get engagement that kind of lines up with that and even surpasses that of bands like Between Friends that seem to bot their followers and likes. Wow, you've got 150,000 followers, but you only get 100 likes? That's pathetic. It's absolutely not just between friends. I want to make that abundantly clear. It's something that's obviously been on my mind, but there's a lot of other accounts that I've come across. We're not going to sit here and talk about all of them today, but I will show a few other examples. I think that the biggest problem that I have with this, like I said, is the fact that people try to inflate themselves. It's like they hype up their own ego. And I think to a celebrity, at least one that was formerly huge in the celebrity world, Bow Wow. He's somebody who starred in movies, obviously had music. Now he's starring in WeTV's hit drama, something, I don't even know. Apparently he's just talking about that a lot on his Twitter account, and you might remember when he got exposed for that fake private jet thing where he talked about on Instagram, like, oh, taking off in my private jet, and it turns out he had just filtered another picture that he found on Google Images. Oops, busted, and then somebody found him just sitting in a regular seat somewhere on a regular airline. Okay, it's fine, Bow Wow, you fly the regular way just like the rest of us. That's all well and good, but what about your social media following? Scrolling through his many tweets and retweets about his show, he does that annoying thing where he retweets every fucking positive thing that somebody says about the show, like live tweeting. I don't understand why anybody would follow him, but if his followers, if we're actually led to believe that his 3+ million followers are real, they have to at least have all muted him, because my god, this dude never shuts the hell up on there. A really funny and also kind of sad example that came recently from the world of music when it comes to botting and buying likes would be a band called Theatrin. Apparently they're from LA. The musician had over 16,000 Instagram followers apparently, but are those real based on the amount of likes those photos are getting? I would say no. Most of them are between like 1 to 300, and for 16,000 followers, that seems a bit low. I have around 6,000, maybe 7,000 Instagram followers myself, and honestly, I normally get between 800 to 1,000 likes, so that's just for comparison. It should be a lot more if those are actually real. Well, it turns out that Theatrin didn't actually have those followers or the tickets that they had lined up. They booked an entire tour, I believe it was European, a couple of US dates as well, and nobody showed up, even though he lied and acted as his own press agent and manager and said that hundreds of tickets had already been sold. He booked these venues, and literally nobody turned out. It's just so sad. Why would you fake it if you know that nobody is going to show up? It's like you had to do it for yourself, and you lied to yourself for so long, and that's what I just feel like these people do. Finally, we've got good old Simple Plan. My god, Simple Plan. I looked at your Twitter account, and I'm thinking 1.13 million people chose to follow you guys on Twitter. Was it just for nostalgia, or are people just insane? And then I got a little bit suspicious, and I followed them myself for a short period in time just to kind of track and see what kind of engagement they were getting. And at best, they were maybe getting like 1,000 likes, which, okay, possibly. And the majority of the posts, though, were between like 100 to 300 or 400 likes, and very few replies and engagement in that sense. Not many retweets either. So my mind, of course, immediately went to this Twitter authenticity thing, and I'm like, all right, let's put it in and see how many of those followers could be bots. Keep in mind that this is not an exact number, and it's not exact science, and isn't always correct, but I wanted to see, and I plugged it in. More than 50%, I would say it looks like, are not real, or just over 50% are, I suppose I should say. I know this might sound like some petty undercover detective work, but it's really not. It's all out there in front of our eyes, and I know that a lot of people probably don't buy it when they see these huge numbers that just seem larger than life, and then you look at the likes and everything else that comes in, and it just doesn't feel real, and it just feels dirty. It feels like a bad play. It's a cheap play. And I know that Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything like that, they're constantly cracking down on fake followers, but they also can't really crack down on the fact that people can continuously buy them. Whatever you think about bands and musicians buying likes and followers, let me know in the comments section down below. Join the discussion, drop a like on this video, and let me know what else you'd like to see right here on Beyond ARTV. Let's try and get the amount of likes on this video so high that everyone thinks it couldn't possibly be real. If you want to go directly to my Patreon Patreon page to support me, then hit this annotation over here in the corner of the screen. See another recent rant or thinking out loud video right over here, or another recent video right over here. Socials in the description, and I'll see you soon for more.